First of all, Pat Shurmur and the coach, both of them should be fired. Vic Fangio is fired. He's a joke of a head coach. You go back to last season, now using 2 to 3 timeouts, and at the end of the game, like, oh, I probably should have used my timeouts. Folks, they should move on from Drew Lock. I'm done. And here's also the other thing too, folks, is that we don't have 3 to 4 to 5 years to wait for Drew Lock to develop. The Raiders potentially have their quarterback. The Chargers definitely have their quarterback. The Chiefs are doing their thing. They're winning the AFC West pretty much every single year for the past couple of years since Patrick Mahomes became the starter. And I believe 2018. But folks, let's be honest here. Drew Lock is going to be gone. And I have an idea, and I told this. And again, I was just filing my mind at work, thinking of these football topics and football answers. I think Chicago, and hear me out, because if you bring Alex Smith, it's going to be dirt cheap. You bring Alex Smith in, you bring Drew Lock to compete the job with Sam Darnold, and you never know from there. Ryan Fitzpatrick will obviously stay with the Miami Dolphins. I mean, look, if you're really convinced of Tua, you don't let Ryan Fitzpatrick go. Those type of quarterbacks, those type of backup quarterbacks, those type of veteran quarterbacks, those type of veteran quarterback mentorships, they don't just fly off the trees. You got to keep them. I'm sorry, y'all. I think Drew Lock could be a good quarterback, but not with my Broncos. John Elway is a part of the problem, and here's where I think we should trade him, Sam. But here's the problem. Who are we going to get in the draft? You can't trust John Elway to draft a quarterback. There's the reason why I say this is because 2016, when Paxton Lynch got drafted, before I started watching football, like hardcore, I was talking to one of my friends, and we were like, I told her, yeah, we got Paxton Lynch. We got Paxton Lynch. Then we also have Brock Osweiler twice. Do you know how many different quarters we've had start since 2016? Almost 16, I believe, give or take. That many different quarterbacks. John Elway's part of the problem. You know, John Elway's not going to go. They're too emotionally invested. The problem is now.
John, don't forget that wide receiver that came off the practice squad and started at quarterback for you guys.
At least we don't have Jimmy Garoppolo's terrible contract, so I wouldn't be. Second, or third, or fourth here, folks, is that even if Drew Lock could develop, Patrick Mahomes is still going to do it. You can't outthrow. You can't outrun Patrick Mahomes. And Vic Fangio, Pat Shurmur deserve to be fired right now here on the MI6 Sports Network, because the fact is your offense is as boring and bland as vanilla ice cream. It sounds good, but in results, it does not work. And I'm baffled why the Denver Broncos are really even considering Drew Lock as a future quarterback. Look what Justin Herbert did in 2020. Look at Patrick Mahomes. Most likely Derek Carr is going to stay, and I don't blame him because they can get him for cheaper. We don't have time to wait. This isn't 2015. This isn't 2012. You don't pay May. He's not coming back out of retirement. He's not pulling a Brett Favre. He's done. Hall of Famer. I think Chicago, so he can compete with Sam Darnold for the starting job. As for other teams, man, it's one of those situations where I think he most likely will be a backup. Whether it's on him or not, again, I agree. Like, the problem is the mentality. You could have the greatest arm. I've seen him have some great moments. 2019, you were up like however many points against the Houston Texans. Sorry there, Chris, and all Texan fans out there. But most of these teams that we're talking about, you look at him, we're going to talk about right now, backup quarterback. He's just not. He doesn't have starter material. That's the mentality. Like we talk about Tom Brady. He doesn't always have the greatest arm, but he is the strongest mental quarterback in the NFL. The strongest mentality. That's what matters. Not having the greatest arm, because you can have the greatest arm, but the offensive line's not working. The running game's not going. It does not work. Drew Lock, I wish you the best, my man. I don't wish you no harm, but most of these are backups. He's not a starter in the NFL, and you look at many teams that have quarterbacks and many teams that need a quarterback, they don't have the money, much less a long-term investment. I think the Saints are going to be doing a basic, what do you have? Do a Jameis Winston type thing like you did with Teddy Bridgewater. Give him a 1-year deal, kind of like what Teddy Bridgewater did in 2018. Let's see what he can do. If it doesn't work, you can move on. The problem is that they don't have the money the next couple of years for if Drew Luck does work out. With James Gonzalez, if Luck is gone, they should draft Kyle Trask from Florida. That would be interesting. But again, knowing John Elway, he's going to pick the most terrible, boring, bland. Watch him pick Zach Wilson or somebody somehow. I don't know how. But John Elway does not know how to draft a quarterback. Pat Shurmur, y'all deserve to be fired right now. Your offense is as predictable, if not more predictable, than the 2020 Chicago Bears. I'm done with Drew Lock. He's going to be a backup in this league.